as efforts to get another coronavirus relief package pushed through and passed through Congress is ramping up in Washington. A group of Senate Republicans met with President Biden yesterday to discuss their $618 billion stimulus proposal. But congressional Democrats are also considering pushing forward the president's $1.9 trillion plan without GOP support. So Elise Preston is following these developments for us in New York. Elise, what are you hearing about the outcome of yesterday's meeting between Mr. Biden and these group of Republican senators? You know, a bipartisan conversation about this much-needed bill seems like a move in a positive direction, but what about the outcome of the meeting?
Well, good morning, Anne-Marie. Some are calling that meeting useful. Senator Collins actually said that they had a very frank and useful conversation. But despite that conversation, a bipartisan bill, a plan for a bipartisan bill was not produced.
President Biden and Vice President Harris met with a group of Republican senators last night to discuss the next COVID relief bill. The GOP lawmakers are pushing a plan that only provides about a third of the relief funds the president is proposing.
I wouldn't say that we came together on a package tonight. No one expected that in a 2-hour meeting.
The White House released a statement afterwards saying that while the president hopes the rescue plan can pass with bipartisan support, it cannot leave the nation short of its pressing needs. Also yesterday, Democratic leaders in Congress started laying the groundwork for budget reconciliation. That would allow Democrats to pass their plan even without any Republican support.
The only thing we cannot accept is a package that is too small or too narrow to pull our country out of this emergency.
All this as now at least 35 states have reported cases of the new, more contagious coronavirus strains. And though vaccination rollout continues to struggle, Dr. Anthony Fauci, chief medical advisor to President Biden, says it's crucial to get one as soon as it's available to you.
Viruses cannot mutate if they don't replicate. And if you stop their replication by vaccinating widely and not giving the virus an open playing field, you will not get mutations.
The White House COVID-19 response team also announced it'll start rolling out the first in-home COVID-19 test this month, able to test within 15 minutes at 90% accuracy.
Now, the test by a company called Ellume is expected to cost roughly $30. Ellume says once the U.S. production facility is built, they'll be able to crank out 19 million tests a month, Anne-Marie.
Okay, every bit helps. Elise, you mentioned in your piece Democrats putting forward the idea of passing a stimulus package through a budget reconciliation process. So that means it would not be bipartisan. It could be done. It's not ideal. But how does that process work?
Well, first, for this budget reconciliation, Congress would have to lay out reconciliation instructions. Now, then committees will then have to draft the legislation, which will then be examined and reviewed by the Senate's Budget Committee. Once that happens, the bill goes up for debate, but there are very strict rules and time limits on that debate, as well as the amendments to the actual bill. Now, as we know, this bill allows a bill to pass, or this process allows a bill to pass with the thinnest of margins, which is what Democrats have. But it is a very complex process. It's only been used about 24 times since 1980.
All right, Elise Preston, thank you so much.